New videos every day.
Is think about a time when you felt great. Hopefully you have a time in your life like that. Maybe it's now, I hope so. But think about a time when you felt just the best you've ever felt. And look at the weight you were at that point. That's probably a pretty good thing to shoot for. We can talk about tables and graphs and everything else, but everybody's going to have a weight that their body's healthy at. And that's what we want to strive for. A lot of people aren't there, so we have to work on getting to that goal. So first I want to talk about losing weight. Let's talk about how we take weight off if you're a little heavier than want to be. There are people on both sides. But if you need to lose some weight, there's a way to do it that's going to be healthy and the way to do it that's not. Now, if you simply don't eat and you are, in a sense, fasting, that's not a good way to lose weight because your body is going to go into what we commonly call the famine response. And what's going to happen is you're going to keep the belly, you're going to keep the hips, and you're going to end up burning fat in other places of your body where you probably wanted to maintain it, not only for your shape, but for function. You have structural fat and visceral fat that you need to keep. It has functions around your organs to cushion them. It also interacts with those organs. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And the structural fat you have, it lubricates joints, it pads joints, it helps your body to move around much more gracefully. So you don't want to burn that fat. You want to burn the stored white adipose tissue, and that's your hip and waist fat for most people. Sometimes it does store in other areas, but that stored fat that's there just for energy, you want to get rid of that. Well, if you just don't eat, you're not going to get to that fat because your body's going to decide for you that there's a famine. And in that case, the body's going to hold on to the stored fat and sacrifice everything else. The big problem is you don't just sacrifice fat, you sacrifice good active metabolic tissue. You sacrifice muscle, you even sacrifice some bone. So now you're going to be worse off because you thought you didn't eat, therefore you're going to weigh less because you're not going to put on any weight from the calories. Well, now what's happened is you've ended up burning up some of your active tissue, especially muscle tissue. And if you look at it by proportion, even though the scale has gone down, you are now fatter because you have less lean tissue that's going to be able to metabolize that fat. So a wrong way to do it. I'm not a real proponent of fasting, even when we talk about cleansing. And cleansing is a tool that we have to include. There are some very good weight loss programs that are simply a cleanse, but you don't have to fast when you cleanse. You do want to burn fat when you cleanse, but you can simply eat good food. You want to eat raw or lightly steamed vegetables, period. You want to eat good lean protein. You want to eat perhaps a little bit of fruit, but nothing processed, nothing with a label, nothing that's got chemicals in it, just real food. And then if you'll give your body some nutrients that will help with this whole process we call detoxification, your body can do some cleanup. And often people will lose several pounds just going through a very simple cleanse. And it also helps the body to function better, which is part of the weight loss. So cleansing can be an important tool in just losing some weight. But again, you want to take in enough calories so you're not involving your whole digestive system, but you want to take in enough calories so you don't sacrifice the tissue that you want to keep, especially muscle. The other thing is you have to watch the effect of stress. You've probably heard about cortisol affecting weight loss. Well, the biggest problem is where cortisol causes muscle to break down preferentially to everything else because the body's in this fight or flight response. And you end up losing the important metabolic tissue that will metabolize that fat. But on top of that, if you're not also exercising when you're trying to lose fat, your metabolism is going to slow down. And there are some real physical reasons why that happens. If you're not exercising, you're not only going to lose the lean tissue, but you're going to lose the important little energy cells that are in every cell, and they're called mitochondria. Now, if you're not exercising, you lose the number of mitochondria, and the ones that you have left lose their efficiency. So you're able to metabolize fat and create energy less and less. Whereas if you're exercising pretty intensely, it doesn't have to be for hours and hours a day, but you have to break a sweat. You have to have some intensity to it. You will stimulate the growth of new mitochondria, and they will become more efficient. That means you become a fat burner. That's how you change your physiology from somebody who doesn't lose weight to somebody who easily loses weight. Because you change the physiology, you change the ability to burn that fat off. You don't want to accumulate too much fat because it accumulates toxins as well. That's where your body puts the toxins it can't get rid of. And if you accumulate too many toxins, your body can't function. We've talked about that before. but it's going to get involved in blocking your ability to lose fat. Also, if you have any allergic responses going on, the body doesn't burn fat very effectively when the immune system's running. It's one or the other situation. So you need to do things to get your body operating or functioning better so that you lose weight in a healthy manner. You want to lose the stored fat. You want to keep your lean tissue. You want to keep other forms of fat. You want to keep bone. You want to keep active metabolic tissue. You want a healthy endpoint. You want to drop the weight, still look good, still function, still be healthy. So you have to consider these things. Look at cleaning up your diet. A lot of times when I'm working with somebody to try to lose weight, I simply get them to stop eating the processed foods and they start losing weight like crazy. And it's just a matter that they were eating things that were adding to the load. You choose to put many things in your body that are not only hampering your ability to lose weight, but they're dangerous to your system. So start making some better choices as far as what you eat and add some activity. And you can create a healthy weight loss that you'll be able to maintain much more easily than if you simply eat less and try to get a little bit of activity. There's a way to go about it so that your weight loss is healthy and you produce what you're trying to accomplish, which is feeling better. Not only looking better, but having your body function, give you the energy, and feel much better. So there's a strategy and there's a way to lose weight that will create that situation. Now, some people feel like they need to gain some weight. They either have a metabolism that's perhaps running a little higher. Maybe they have a problem with their thyroid or something else. Maybe they just don't eat very well. They don't get enough in. A lot of people who either smoke or do some other kind of drugs or even some medications will tend to cause a wasting situation where you can't even maintain very much lean tissue. You just are losing it all the time. These people have to do some of the same things. Again, a cleanse is going to be quite helpful for this person because you get the toxins out of the way, you get the body cleaned up, it begins to work better, and it will put on and be able to build tissue where it wasn't able to before because something was interfering. You want to make sure you have sufficient protein. You want to make sure you have sufficient essential fats. You need the building blocks of the new tissue that you want to have. And you have to get your body, again, functioning in a manner that is going to allow it to build new tissue. But a key ingredient of being able to put on weight, just like taking it off, is the right type of exercise. You need exercise that stimulates anabolism or growth of tissue. So you're going to have to do some weight training. You're going to have to do some kind of resistance. You can do bands or Pilates or something that requires the muscles to work against a force. And then you can stimulate new growth of muscle. You want to stimulate new ligament growth. You want to stimulate all of the tissues in your body to grow stronger. And that's the healthy way to put weight on. Unfortunately, most people, even a lot of medical professionals, feel like if you're underweight, then you just need to eat everything. Marshmallows, Reese's Pieces, whatever's available. And that's not the way to gain weight. You're going to gain the fat that you didn't want to have. You're going to gain fat tissue that's going to work against you. A couple things about fat. As I said, it's a storage place for toxins. The toxins are going to be able to interfere with your body working right. And that's going to translate to you feeling good or not. But also, your fat cells are endocrine organs, meaning that they produce their own hormones. Your fat cells produce estrogen. Estrogen makes you gain weight. Your fat cells produce other hormones that make you gain weight. Your fat cells produce a lot of inflammatory cytokines and prostaglandins. These are things that make you have symptoms. They make your head hurt. They make your nose run. They make your skin itch. It's your immune response. It's because you put on this fat, you created these fat cells that are now full and able to be more productive in the way of chemicals and things that can cause you problems. And you're going to not only have problems gaining the weight, but you're going to have problems with getting it back off. And then again, you're going to have all the problems of the immune system being kicked in. You want your immune system to work. Most of us have a very strong and effective immune system. The problem is it's unregulated. And the more fat you put on, the less regulated it is because it's being pushed to be more active than it should be. So you may want to lose weight. You may want to gain weight. The best way to do either one is to get the body functioning better. You've got to get your body working better to accomplish what you want to accomplish. If your body's working, it will seek and find the proper weight. It'll work every time if you just allow it to. So be happy, be healthy. If you have any questions that you want to be addressed on these videos, please send them in. There's contact information. You can contact me at austinwellnessclinic.com. It's Dr. Vince, D-R-V-I-N-C-E, at austinwellnessclinic.com. Or you can contact Psychetruth, the maker of the videos. So I'd be interested in knowing what questions you have, and we will find an answer for you and present it on the internet.
There are over 350 videos on our channel, and I doubt you've seen them all. And the topics range from weight loss, nutrition, sexual health, all the way to psychology and mind control, and anywhere in between. And I think if you check them out, you're going to find some really interesting stuff.